In a distant corner of the galaxy, far beyond the reach of most civilizations, there existed a planet called Veritas 9, where scientists had uncovered a substance so rare and powerful that it could alter the very fabric of the universe. They called it essentium. Essentium wasn't like any other material. Its molecular structure was so unique that it could bend time, warp space, and manipulate energy at will. With just a small amount, one could create or destroy entire star systems. Word spread quickly about this mysterious element, and soon every major faction in the galaxy, governments, rogue factions, and criminal syndicates, wanted to get their hands on it. The story begins with Captain Rhea Solis, a former soldier-turned-smuggler, who had heard rumors about a massive bounty on the last known shard of essentium. It was said to be hidden on Veritas 9 in an abandoned research facility, sealed under layers of defenses that no one had yet breached. Driven by greed but also the thrill of discovery, Rhea and her crew set course for the planet. As they descended onto the surface of Veritas 9, the once thriving research colony was now a desolate wasteland. The facility loomed in the distance, shrouded in the thick mist of the planet's atmosphere, its walls covered in strange markings left behind by the previous inhabitants. "Everyone ready?" Rhea asked, tightening her grip on her plasma rifle. Her crew, Yara, a sharp-witted engineer, Drac, a hulking ex-mercenary, and Lysander, the tech genius, nodded in grim determination. They knew the risks of this mission. It wasn't just about surviving the traps inside the facility. The real danger lay in what the essentium could do, or worse, who might already be after it. As they entered the facility, the air was thick with a strange hum, like the very atmosphere was alive with energy. The deeper they went, the more signs they found of failed attempts to retrieve the essentium. Crushed drones, burned-out laser grids, and bodies of fallen treasure hunters littered the corridors. "Looks like we're not the first to try," Yara muttered. "Let's make sure we're the last," Rhea replied, pushing forward. After hours of navigating deadly traps and solving puzzles that protected the inner sanctum, the team finally stood before the chamber that housed the last shard of essentium. The door slid open with a soft hiss, revealing a small, glowing crystal suspended in the center of the room, encased in an anti-gravity field. But as they stepped closer, something felt wrong. The air around them became heavy, oppressive. Rhea felt a strange pull, not just physically but mentally, as if the essentium was calling to her, whispering promises of unlimited power. "Do you feel that?" Drac growled, sweat forming on his brow. "It's like it's alive," Lysander whispered, his eyes locked on the glowing shard. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the facility, and the ground shook beneath their feet. From the shadows emerged a group of heavily armored soldiers, the insignia of the Terran Dominion gleaming on their shoulders. "Hand over the essentium," the leader barked, his voice cold and commanding. "You don't know what you're dealing with." Rhea's heart raced. She knew the Terran Dominion was ruthless, willing to destroy entire planets for the power of essentium. There was no way she could let them take it. "Over my dead body," Rhea spat, raising her rifle. The room exploded into chaos. Plasma bolts flew in every direction, and the hum of energy from the essentium grew louder, almost deafening. In the midst of the battle, Lysander reached for the crystal. "Lys, what are you doing?" Yara screamed, but it was too late. As Lysander's hand touched the shard, a surge of energy erupted from it, sending shockwaves through the room. Time itself seemed to bend, the walls warping and reality fracturing around them. Rhea watched in horror as Lysander's body began to flicker in and out of existence, his form distorting as if he were being pulled through multiple dimensions at once. The power of the essentium was too much for any single being to control. "Drop it, Lysander," Rhea yelled, but he couldn't hear her. The power had consumed him. With a final agonized scream, Lysander disintegrated into nothingness, leaving only the glowing shard in the center of the room. The Terran soldiers, realizing the danger, retreated, but Rhea and her crew were trapped. The essentium's energy began to spiral out of control, tearing at the fabric of space-time. The walls cracked, and the ground beneath them shook violently. "We have to destroy it," Yara shouted over the deafening noise. "But if we destroy it, the energy could create a black hole," Drac warned. Rhea looked at the shard, then at her remaining crew. She knew there was only one option. The Ascension was too dangerous to exist. "Get to the ship," she ordered. "I'll handle this." But Yara started to protest. "Go," Rhea commanded. As Yara and Drac ran for the exit, Rhea approached the Ascentium, pulling a high-yield explosive from her belt. She placed it at the base of the anti-gravity field and set the timer for 60 seconds. As the countdown began, she sprinted toward the exit. The facility started to collapse around her as the energy from the Ascentium destabilized. Rhea barely made it to the ship before the entire structure imploded. From the safety of space, they watched as Veritas 9 was consumed by the explosion, the power of the Ascentium finally extinguished. In the silence of space, Rhea knew they had done the right thing. The most dangerous substance in the galaxy was gone, but deep down, she couldn't shake the feeling that somewhere, someone would find another shard, and the cycle would begin again.